Hello and welcome back to the Afternoon Commute with Hopi living in the city. It is Friday afternoon and we are headed south on the 51 toward Chandler. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Hope you all had a great day. I know we got some snow up in the Hopi Nation, Navajo Nation as well. If you're traveling up north, be careful please. There were a few road closures here and there, but I would think they were mostly for traffic incidents and not necessarily the roads being closed like they do during severe windstorms or those dust storms. Just be safe. We'll be staying in town this weekend. Got a spring break. Next week. I wonder how much rainfall we're getting today in the 24 hours that it started. I know this morning when we were leaving it was already raining, drizzling, and we definitely need the moisture. So I am going home and we marinated some drumsticks last night, so we'll do that. I don't know what else we had taken out. I think there's some ground beef, but we'll find out.
It's probably a lot of former supporters, whether it's former soldiers or people who have been waiting in the shadows. It's unclear to what extent each of them feed into this, but it's former Assad loyalists, a lot of very angry Alawis and people who live in the coast who have seen life deteriorate in the last few months, fighting against supporters of the new regime, both security forces and factions that have technically dissolved and joined the Ministry of Defense.
So you said this is not unexpected. Can you tell me more about how the government has responded and what the current security situation is right now?
The Ministry of Defense immediately dispatched forces to back up the general security forces that were in the coast. There were clashes overnight. We saw different videos of people from different factions coming down from different provinces to the coast to support their comrades in arms. And when we woke up today, there was relative quiet. Security forces and defense forces are carrying out what they're calling precise and qualitative operations against what they're calling remnants of the former regime in the coasts right now. But yeah, no, it was expected just because there has been this boiling of anger that we're seeing in Damascus and in other areas, and because of the deterioration of the quality of life.
My big question here today is how significant is this? I mean, what risk does this pose to the stability of the new government?
Well, so I heard from a source in the new government that what we're seeing on social media is also somewhat overinflated, that these guys know what they're doing and in a lot of ways have been able to show that they're in a lot more places than they actually are, or that they're holding places that they actually aren't. But even if they were able to kind of crush this uprising, and if they were able to bring Della and other people into the fold, or if they're able to take them out, this does in no way means the end of tensions, and the government is very well aware of that, because the tensions are very much tied to economic and security conditions, and those have been steadily on the decline since December, since the takeover of the new government.
What will you be looking for to, determine if this is largely to spark a larger conflict, or if this is something that the government can get a handle on and stamp out?
I think opening a line of conversation with Alawi leaders is the main way for them to maintain peace, or even try to approach peace. There's conversations that are happening in Damascus with Alawi leaders, and that's why we didn't see any kind of major escalation in any way in Alawi neighborhoods in Damascus. There was a lot of general security forces that were dispatched all over the capital and in surrounding areas, but there's also constant conversations happening to try to establish this kind of goodwill between the new government and Alawi neighborhoods and the Alawi minority in the capital. That needs to be exported to coastal areas, and this is conversation that's been happening for a while between the government and Alawi leaders in the capital. It's just very slow moving because something like this takes a very long time.
Sarah Dadouche reports for the Financial Times. She was speaking with us from Beirut.
Of course, it was told I was, and then the media calls me, and I'm like, I know nothing about any task force. Please, somebody talk to me. I sat through their Zoom meeting, and in a matter of minutes, I just thought, I don't need this. I belong to enough narcotic human smuggling task forces. I don't need a sixth.
Sheriff Nanos, Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos, we hear your frustration. We empathize with you. We wish you all the best in Pima County, and we look forward to checking in with you down the road.
Yeah, and thanks for answering the media when we call, too. We appreciate that.
Yeah, not a problem.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah,
that's what I'm here for. Very good. Sheriff Nanos, a pleasure talking with him. We're always happy to grab your feedback, and as we've mentioned before, we've got that little feedback button on the KTAR News app. If you click on the microphone, you can leave us a message and maybe have thoughts on what you just heard from Sheriff Nanos. We do get some feedback. In fact, we had a feedback yesterday from a gentleman who was listening and asked about running primary challenges. We talked about Hobbs potentially being primaried, and he had some questions about that. He says, "Why is this so hard to do? It doesn't seem like the system is fair." You know what? We'll answer your questions. That's next in the Chris and Joe Show, KTAR News.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible.
All right, folks, you guys have a great day. Be safe. Don't forget to hug your loved ones. Tell them how much you appreciate them. And enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for tuning in.